0.6 million. That was our target for the year. So again, it's a bigger pipeline, but we're just seeing some slower collections there. All in, we were at almost 7 million. 7.3 million though was the budget, so we came in at 96%, although we were up 8% year on year. Look at the year-to-date numbers in terms of the distribution. Taxes always lead the way for us. We're at 75% property taxes, other 1%, ambulance fees 21%, fire recovery 0.1, interest almost 3, PPRT 0.2. For the month of April, we took in about 118,000 in terms of ambulance collections, brought our average to about 121,000 a month. Our target was 137, but you can see we were up nicely over the last 2 years. 121 monthly average this year. Last year it was 106. The year before 108. On the expenditure side, happy to announce we came in under budget in total. We were at 87% of the total budget expensed. Operationally, just a little elevated there, 1% over the internal budget. Remember, that's not the appropriation, just the internal budget that we work with. Salaries in at 99% on all payrolls paid. Contractual services a little bit higher at 9%. Vehicle maintenance fuel, again, 14% higher. A lot of times that vehicle maintenance budget, very hard to determine at the onset of the year what might happen in terms of vehicles. And then capital and outlay debt service nicely under budget at 77%, most of that being Station 3, about 3.6 million spent there. The new engine, 467, and then bond payments of 1.8 million. And again, that's funded by the levies. Look at those expenditures line by line versus last year. Our biggest driver, always personnel. You see that came in at 99%, up 3. Outside of that, remember GEMT had some new timing in terms of invoices, where now they're invoicing us quarterly, so that's more than 12 months of invoices in that number. That's why you see that almost double what we budgeted. Now we'll revise some of this as we are under the accrual method of accounting, so we really are only going to capture 12 months, but it's cash basis in the interim. So we show you these cash basis financials to show you what's going out the door. But you see that's why it's up 82%. They were billing us just one bill annually. Now they've started to go rapid fire with, we had 3 quarters, now it's every quarter. We're paid up through December of 2025. They are going to get another bill though. I think we did get one right around the corner. We got like back-to-back invoices. So the state obviously needs to bridge their budget gap. So they're asking for money a little bit quicker than they normally do. And remember, that's the 50% on those Medicaid runs, which we get through being part of that GMT program. Again, typically pays very little. Now we're getting, based on our cost report, a much larger dollar amount, subsidized by the feds. But again, they want the state negotiated 50% gets paid back to them. So I don't know how that was negotiated, but that's the dollars that you see in that line account. Contractual services were up about 9% over last year. Some additional fire station, although it was down 36%. Vehicle maintenance and fuel, that one was up 14% year on year. All in, about 5.2 million spent. Our budget was about 5.2, so we're just 1% over, but up about 5% year on year, about 240,000. Debt expenditures on the number, of course, we know that going in, as the levy pays for that per the referendum. And then capital outlay, you can see under budget at 74%, up 9 over last year. Look at the year-to-date numbers. Personnel is going to make up the majority here. It's about 80% of the pie. In the fire service, anywhere from like 75 to 85% is typically what we see there, as the majority of expenditures are personnel related. Vehicle maintenance and fuel at 3%, materials and supplies at 2%, contractual services 9%. That GMT payback made up 4%, 0.1 for travel as well as public. In terms of 12 months, again, we knew we had a capital intensive year, finishing up those station costs as well as the engine. So we dropped or brought down our fund balance of 6.7 million, 4.2 million. So we ended about 2.4 million, or 34% fund balance to expenditure ratio. Again, that's going to be now our reserves going forward. So as we spent a lot of those debt proceeds, now we look to kind of stay within the budget that we have, and obviously those CPI increases that we get every year. So again, about 1.3 million now in the general fund. The capital funded about 906,000. So again, that's why you're going to see the increase last year in terms of the graphs below. That's when the proceeds came in. And then again, we're going to spend those proceeds in the following year. We have 3 years to spend down any bond. Last but not least, we're going to look at revenue operations without debt service. And again, you can kind of see the tightening that's going on here as we start to see expenditures slightly outpace revenues. Again, this is all part of the balancing act that we have to do every year with the budget. And again, it's always been relatively tight, but you can just see kind of those expenditures slightly outpacing revenue. So this will be something that we'll have to continue to work at through the budget process. Last but not least, investments pretty much mirrors fund balance. On the last page here, you can see 2.3 million across all accounts. Still getting very good bang for the buck with Barrington. That's about 10 basis points higher than Illinois Funds. So again, and then Schwab, that's going to be our brokered account by Soria Faldudo. That's going to be probably close to 4% as well. And that's on that about 1.2 million. So again, that's where most of the money's held. And again, that's all safe fixed incomes, investments, CDs, treasuries, anything we're allowed to invest in by statute. But that's all I had for my presentation. I'd be happy to take any questions from the board.
James, backing up just for a second.
Yeah.
What are our projections this year for our property tax income?
So for income this year, we did receive the extensions from the counties. So if I pull up our
Just
extension
a
worksheet.
rough idea. As we'll get our first payment probably within a month.
Yeah, relatively soon. This is just Kane, I think. So it's about 2.3 million from Kane. This is the page here. So the total extent, this is the total extension of about 5.3 million in total, and then the DuPage portion, about 233,000 there. It looks like, so majority is Kane County. So about 5.3 million, 5.26.
Did we go for the maximum last year?
We did. Yeah,
Okay.
the maximum we can get under the cap.
Okay.
So CPI last year was 2.9. So again, we usually capture that plus any new growth. So we go right under 5 in terms of the levy.
Yep.
So we don't have to publish or have it here.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, go.
I have a question,
Yeah.
maybe it's for Chief or somebody. For the ambulance fees, like how do we collect those? Is it like
So,
monthly or?
I'll talk about how we charge for it first. So we passed an ordinance a couple of years ago that says that our ambulance fees are gonna directly mirror our GEMT costs for the year. And that increases basically automatically on a year-to-year basis, so we don't have to come in and reset that price every year. We send all our billing over to EMS, who sends out the bills. They collect it as it comes in, so you can't really say it's month to month, it's kind of an ongoing thing, and it's always a little bit behind
That's what I kind of.
the billing, so it trickles in. You'll see a lot of it come in at once, and then you see the rest of it kind of trickle in, which is why we can never really give accurate amounts of, well, how much are we owed? Well, I can't really tell you because we don't know exactly what's come in or when it's going to come in. So we look at things on a monthly basis as to how much we took in for the month, but we know that there's still money owing and there's still new billing out.
Okay.
Did that answer your
It
question?
does. Yeah, I kind of figured that's what it was, but.
Do we have that?
Are you done with the TV?
Oh, yes.
We don't need to watch TV.
Yeah, I kind of figured that's what it was, but just for my own knowledge. Okay, so, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, any other questions for James? Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm double booked tonight, so I'm just gonna run and do a Zoom meeting.
Yep.
But if you need me, just
No,
holler.
you're good. Thank you for coming tonight,
Oh,
appreciate
of
it.
course.
All right, that'll take us to the chief's report.
Topic of the month, once again, is staffing. We lost 4 members this past month. They have all moved on to other departments or other projects. That's the bad news. The good news is we gained 6. So we put on 6 new people. 2 of them are done and in service and working shifts as we speak. 4 of them are actually in training this week. So we're looking forward to having them on board. In the realm of operations, because of all that movement, I had to do some adjustment of staffing assignments, moving people from shift to shift, for example. But we've got things balanced out and it's looking good for the coming month. Public Education and Fire Prevention Bureau, we're pretty proud of having installed a bed shaker alarm for one of our residents who is deaf. That is, if you aren't sure or you don't know what that is, it's actually a device that shakes, and I guess it shakes it pretty vigorously, the bed so that people that aren't woken up by noises or lights, they can still safely get out of the house when their fire alarm goes out. Thank you to DC Niesel for getting that taken care of for us. This past month, we had Telecommunicators Week, which is our dispatchers, appreciation for them. Chief Niesel and I took lunch over to the KingCom personnel and kind of celebrated their service to us for the year. And I myself went to ECC. I met with some of the new basic operations firefighter students, and we conducted mock interviews. And that's always very interesting every year. It's fun to see how the kids' interviewing skills are and give them a little bit of advice and pointers as to maybe how they could polish up on their interviewing skills, come out and get a job. It's also nice for us. We get to meet some of those prospective employees and put in a good pitch for ourselves. So I like attending those. And then finally, Battalion Chief Almeida and myself attended the U46 Police and Fire Safety Task Force meeting, and that is the U46 schools. We talk about some of their safety issues. Of course, the big one being active shooter, always very foremost in our minds. Talk about what we're going to do if that were to occur and some of the logistics of handling a situation like that. As far as our fleet, currently engine 1813, which is our engine tender, normally stationed at Station 3, is out of service for preventive maintenance. We replaced batteries on both ambulance 1851 and 53, and we just had our annual ladder testing this past week. All of our ladders passed. EMS, we have completed CPR recertification for the entire membership, so we're all current. We installed narcotics lock boxes on all of our ALS vehicles. That is just an added layer of protection so that people can't get at those controlled substances. We don't have to worry about misplacement or, God forbid, theft. And state inspections were completed on all ambulances. Finally, this past week, DC Niesel was able to attend the Chiefs Symposium in Peoria from Tuesday through Thursday. I know that he got a lot of good information from that. It's always worthwhile trip when you can make it. And that is my report for the month.
Can I just ask when you expect 1813 to be back in service?
I'm not real sure. It's preventive maintenance generally doesn't take that long. Have you heard?
Yeah,
any
the word I
news?
got the other day, we take a, with a grain of salt, but preventive maintenance, but they also do a very thorough once over on the vehicle. And there was a couple other things that were found, like some small pump things where once it got to pump testing, it would not pass. So they're fixing a couple other things, but it's very soon.
Hopefully by the end of the month.
Oh, I think so. Yeah. But yeah, with a grain of salt, you just never know. But we just last week they were saying, it's just about done. We're ready to send it back.
And to put your mind at ease, we do still have 2 engines in service plus a reserve engine in case something goes south.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Chief? Okay, take us to attorney reports.
Thank you. Everybody, good evening. Have a brief update for you on what the General Assembly is doing. First thing, their session ends at the end of the month, and they've been hard at work. Regrettably, not so much that's going to impact your operations, though. The 2 bills that I had been watching are the one that would increase the trustees' potential compensation, and another one that would allow fire districts to move money out of the ambulance fund into another fund that you control without the need to do an amended budget, which is a useful tool to have, but certainly not one that you're going to be using all that frequently. Both of those bills now have assignments in the Senate. They made their way out of the House. So the bill that would allow the transfer from the ambulance fund has already gone through the committee process, approved unanimously, and is now just awaiting the final Senate vote before it'll wind its way up on the governor's desk. The trustee compensation bill today was just assigned to a committee, the executive committee. So we anticipate that it'll get some play there, and I haven't heard any opposition to that. But otherwise, it's been very quiet as far as bills that will touch the fire service. A lot of action on pension side, but not so much with your situation. So that's all I have for you this month, unless there's any questions.
Questions? All right, thank you, John. I don't have anything to bring up. So that takes us to our consent agenda. Is there any items anyone would like pulled? Okay. Do I have a motion to approve consent agenda items A and B?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Seaver. Tracy, take roll.
Trustee Gaffney?
Yes.
Trustee Trustee McManus,
Yes.
trustee Seifert,
Yes.
trustee Manheim.
Yes, motion passes. Alright, so that'll take us to, I guess, our kind of our 4 action old business item, which is the discussion and possible action on the Board of Trustees policy manual.
Yes, since we met last, I did work with trustee Gaffney on his suggested insertions to the policy manual. There was really just one change. It had to do with voting. In the order that is in the policy manual right now, the voting order is the motioner, then the seconder, and what we added was that the remaining trustees are gonna vote in rotating alphabetical order rather than just alphabetical order. So with that change, I haven't heard any others.
It's rotating no matter what, right? Regardless of the motion or.
Right.
Correct.
So I thought, okay. Any additional questions or comments?
No, basically, outside of that change, that the policy is basically as we submitted, 3-4 months ago. So
Correct, with the changes that I teed after our discussion.
if there's no changes, I'd make a motion to accept
Okay,
and put into action, or put into.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good
Okay.
word.
do I have a second?
Second.
Okay,
Trustee McManus,
Yes.
trustee Seifert,
Yes.
trustee Gaffney,
Yes.
and trustee Manheim.
yes, motion passes. Alright, thank you everybody for that. That takes us to our new business. Is there any new business from any trustee?
I would like to bring up one item, just a real short item. I know back a few months ago, we instructed the chief to try to give us more or less a weekly report on what was going on. It doesn't seem at times in the district very much happens. I would like to make a suggestion to the board and to the chief and to the secretary that we become part of a group text. And if we have a major fire or a major automobile accident or something like that, that we get a text as soon as possible. Outside of that, I'll be honest with you, I really don't care, outside the monthly report, how many firefighters quit or how many did last week or what they did. I would just prefer that if we have a major incident, that we're notified, so in case we get called or questioned, that we can at least say, we understand there's a major fire in Babson Lane, or there's been a bad automobile accident, and just to say we're aware of it, and, further discussion will come, but with a text, a group text, there's only 5 of us on the board. All the chief would have to do is say, we have a major incident over on Babson Lane, let's say, it's under control, blah, 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 and send it out to us, and that way we've been informed, but as far as who quit and who didn't, and how many times we filled the gasoline up, I really don't think I need to know. I'm just being facetious, but, so.
Everyone okay with that?
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
I like that.
Okay, that's fine.
Would you give us like the KingCom dispatch, or you write your own little
I'll send you a text actually from myself to all of you saying, there's a fire somewhere, we got it under control, we don't, we had an accident today. I might even send something, hey, the water heater blew up today, we're gonna need a new one. But we can kind of cut some of the minutia out. That's the main thing.
Just keep us up to date on the pertinent information that basically we may hear something back from the public or be questioned on something that we're not out in the dark on. That's what I was concerned with, so. Thank you.
Okay. All right, any other new business?
question?
Yeah.
DC diesel review, has it been done?
Schedule will be done in May.
What was that?
DC's Niesel's review is done each May,
Oh, okay.
every year in May.
I didn't hear what trustee Manis said, so thank you.
And any report on the chiefs?
I'm just waiting for TJ's, and then I can put together everything.
I'll get that to you next day or so.
Okay, appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, I just looked at it again.
Yeah, okay.
Well, with that, I make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
Second?
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Alright, passes. Alright, it is 6:22. We are adjourned. Thank you.